Good morning, everybody. I'm Carol, and welcome to my quiet corner. Today is Whatever Wednesday. I decided to do a Whatever Wednesday because this way I can do whatever I want to do, or you could do whatever you want to do and just play along. So,
You can do whatever you want to
oh,
do.
and now I've got to take that off because I always forget when I am going through and popping out chat. I forget to close the other window, which is fine. It's fine. Anyway, I was sitting here and I haven't played with my watercolors for a while. Good morning, Mika. So nice to see you. How are you doing? So today I thought is let's do whatever we want to do Wednesday. Um, it's great. Just having fun playing on postcards actually. I was waiting for this to dry. So I thought, oh, why not come on and just tinker? Does anybody else want to come on? I can send you a link and we can have a whatever Wednesday. We can play. You're more than welcome to join me if you'd like. I'm I'll fill you in, Mika. I'll fill you in. So I just thought I'd play a little bit, I just have some fun today and just make it a relaxing day. But if anybody wants to join me, I'd be more than happy to send you a link. Um, Let me know. I'm on StreamYards, so I would gladly have you on. Yes, relaxing is good. It's been a couple of rough weeks, I should say. I hope you're feeling a lot better too. But I already pre-wet some of this stuff because I was sitting here playing and then I thought, why not come on and just tinker with my watercolors? And I've been watching a lot of different types of videos lately, and I thought, well, this would be fun. And then I thought, well, we keep going and we can then play with some threads and stuff. It's a continuing saga. Yes, I so understand that. Me too. Me too. I'm going to give these guys a bit of a landing here, just playing and making them have a little bit of a mountainscape, so to speak. I'm going to add a little bit of blue to this mix over here and take a little bit of this because I want it to be an odd color. Yes, I know, Mika. I know. Thank goodness for creative hobbies is for sure. I've been going through lots of testing and crap myself, so between the stitching and, just playing and keeping busy, just trying to keep busy anyways. Now these are postcards that I have, and they're 140 pound, but they're like a rough. So they actually, you can see the pigment sitting in the little squares. It's almost like it was pressed. It's almost like it was pressed. So I was playing around and watching these things and seeing what I had, and the colors I'm using are these are Schminky colors, and these are the Winsor Newton Pro that I got in tubes. So I haven't been able to really play a whole lot. The mostly what I've done is um, swatch. Mostly what I've done is swatch. So I want to try. I see kind of like a little mountains and stuff in here. So what I'm going to do is I want to try and lift a little bit. I don't know how well this paper is going to work with lifting, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it a shot. We can always use gouache and add in if we need be, but I figured these are postcards, so it would be nice to just mail these out, you know? So I see red in here, so I'm thinking this kind of looks like a tree too. What I did with this tree was I used this that I got in a set of um hi Sophia. It was in a urban sketching kit that I had gotten. So I haven't used it, so I thought, oh, I'll try it out and see what it's like. Now this is a darker color. This is the Perlene dark red that's in here, but I kind of like the alizarin crimson that's in the Winsor Newton. So I think I'm going to pick a bit of that. Me too. Me too. That's pretty much all I've done is swatch these, and I haven't really had a chance to come back in. And I know I've got a lot of new followers lately that are mostly stitchers, but I do love to stitch, and that is my Fiber Art Fridays. So most of the time I'll do the stitching there, but there will be the occasional time where I may come in on a whatever Wednesday and finish up some stuff for Fiber Art Friday. And see how quick and easy that was to make that tree? Just brushing my um, the tip of the brush across the line and just having it drag so to make a nice little um, branch look. It kind of gives it a rough look. So when you're doing a kind of like an abstract look, it's fine. It's fine. So now I want to do a little bit more. So wet my brush, come back in here onto my alizarin crimson, or if you have a specific color that you like, then that's kind of cool too. So I'm going to add a couple of more trees so it's not just that one red tree. Good morning, Stitch It Pam. How are you? We're having a whatever Wednesday. How's that? I hope you are enjoying your days so far. It is only 10 a.m. here in Alberta, and it's a little cool. It's not bad. We're going to have, it's almost like a heat wave right now. We're having a bit of a heat wave where we put some, well, my daughter-in-law put some ice out, salt out to take care of the ice as it's melting. Now this has a little bit of a shadow coming this way, which is kind of nice. But I want this to kind of look like a waterfall in here. I know Anne's not streaming today, so if we need be, we could probably go a little longer. And I know uh, other people are coming on later. So I'm just going to smudge this out. I just using my wet brush, and I'm going to do the same over here just to give them shadows of the red coming out and under. And I'm going to continue it. I don't know if nope, this is a permanent marker that's over there that I use, this ink. So that must be India ink, which is great. I'm going to just go lightly over that because I don't want it very stark under the trees. Oh, yeah, Sophia. Yeah, 7 hours difference. 10 a.m. Yeah, 9:58. And it's why sometimes with the time change for me, it's been a little bit harder to get going early. So it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. While I'm talking and off subject, if you'd be so kind as to share this out so everybody knows I'm on. I didn't share it out. I just came on, but I will be coming on Wednesdays right after Dee Dee. in between Dee Dee and Ann for an hour. So now I want to take a little bit of brown. So I'm going to go into, I'm thinking burnt sienna. And I'm going to put this right here because it's a rustic look. And I'm going to just go gently in around here to give them a landfall, right? And I want to blend that out. So blending it out, I am just using my water. I hope everybody doesn't mind a change of pace from stitching. It's sometimes you just need to do something else. I don't know if you do it so much and then it's like, okay, I need a day of let's play with the other stuff in the room. The other stuff. Now, I want to show this as kind of like rocks in there. So I'm going to take and I'm going to move this red into what's already on my palette, and I'm not exactly sure what's all there, but I want to just kind of like, and there's like lines through here. So I kind of want to bring this and shadow on the bottoms of what kind of looks like rocks, you know, in and around, not to overdo or anything, but just to enhance them a little bit. Sophie, stitching is a change of pace for you. Yes, I love my stitching. Believe me, I do love my stitching a lot. And actually, I've just finished stitching my January. So I am ready to add on to some of that. So I will be doing a probably a bonus video in between. Now I'm thinking, what other colors do I want to put in there? Just to break it up a little bit because I want it to look like a landscape. Yeah, the time change for me for knowing that most of the people that I do have that I'm following is 2 hours difference. So every time I look at the clock, I got to think, what time is it there? What time is it there? So I don't have any white out or anything, but I do, by chance, I'm thinking, I hope I did. I did. I had started collecting some watercolor pencils. Hi, Sherry. And I did happen to get a white. So I can take my white watercolor pencil, and these are the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer, or however you say that. But this is my start of my collection. So next time we go to the art store, I'm going to add two little bits and pieces. So I want this to come out a little bit more white down in here. So I will color that in a little bit, and I'm going to give a little bits of highlights in these rock areas over here. Now you could take and wet the end of this and go in. I'm just going to do the very tip, as it will then just paint itself, as you can see. But don't get your wood wet because it's not good to get the wood wet because then it expands. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Yeah, I was just, if you've ever watched The Mind of Watercolor, he's an amazing watercolorist. And I've been watching him lately, and I've been watching his recent landscape paintings, and it just caught my eye to the point of, "Oh, I wanna do that." So, that's what I thought I'm doing today, and I'll put his link in the description after I'm done, and that way you can you can go check out his stuff too. It's really, really, really cool if you haven't already heard of him. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to add in little tiny bits of blue in and around because it is the sky. It's not really green. It just happened that I just was playing. So I'm just going to just random, random. And then so I don't have hard edges, I'm going to add more water. And he keeps this as a vignette, but I think I'm just going to go around and pull out whatever's along the edge. Again, I want to get some more Windsor blue and put it over into here. And then take the water and just blend it. I used to do a lot of watercoloring on my other channel years ago, and I feel the need to do some more. So I think I'll use a bigger brush to go over that. Yes, I am working on my wool mat, which is fine. If I get watercolor on it, I get watercolor on it. It's not like it's to be used. It's to be used. So I'm keeping the outer edge kind of clean. That way it still looks like a vignette, but it goes to the edge because like I said, these are postcards, so they can be shipped. Now I want to take a little yellow ochre with some water, and I'm going to do the yellow ochre around the bottom because it is a landscape, and I am going to go into the other stuff. And it doesn't matter if it blends or not or moves. It doesn't seem to be moving, but I am keeping it so I have a landscape edge. Hi, Brenda. It's nice to see everybody today. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all subscribed because Wednesdays I do my Fiber Art Fridays. Ah, thank you, Sophia. And I am doing a giveaway the last Friday of the month, and you must be a subscriber. And I'm going to give it away live. So if you're into the fiber arts, well, that is what happens on that day. I want to have a couple of little bushes and stuff. So what I'm going to do is instead of the watercolor, I'm going to take and use this ink brush. It doesn't tell me exactly what it is in English, so I really can't explain it to you, but I'm pretty sure it's India ink inside. And once it's down, it's down. So if I make a mistake, it's going to be, oh crap. And I want to take, and I'm thinking little bushes in and amongst here, just very gently. And the point on this is really, really um, fine, very, very fine, which gives you a great different look and textures from the heavy to the light. And I'm going to make another one over here. And if you press too hard, too quick, you get the heavier look, but I might put one over here. And I know that it is wet a little bit, which is fine. It will bleed, but it's all good. I'm just going to put a little bit of the dark in amongst these rocks that are there. give them a little bit of texture and look shaping, so to speak. And on my whatever Wednesdays, if you all want to join me, just let me know, and I will be more than happy to send you a link to come up and do your art. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Um, Feel free to come on up and join me. I'm going to put another tree over here just so I can show you what I'm doing and how it worked. Just no rhyme nor reason, just back and forth. And then I'm thinking I need some trees like in the back, but not like bright in your face. Oh wow, Mika. We have to get you back into that, huh? Now, this helio green is really nice and dark, so I'm thinking I may want to use that and add a little bit of water because I'm not necessarily doing a tutorial per se. I'm just telling you and talking to you while I'm doing this because there's nobody else on here to talk to but you guys. So I think I'm going to do very faint back here. I probably should have used a gray. I can always go over it. I can always add whatever's in my palette here and change it. Hi, Chris. It's nice to see you. And because it seems very bright, I'm just going to dull it back with a tissue. And work my way along this little line here. Some taller, some shorter, and I like that color a lot better because it's still along here is the waterfall, and it goes behind. So I want to make some trees that are just faint in the background wherever they go. Like I say, you can use inks, you can use your watercolors, you can use pencils, whatever seems to work for you. And that's where we are so far. I think it's looking pretty good. I'm going to add a little bit more of a dark color into this area. And as you're painting around things, that's called negative painting. So if you haven't done negative painting, it's just painting around stuff. Watching from the balcony, about to go to work. Aw, Chris, I'm sorry you have to go to work. But thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. And this is making this all show. So it has a landing spot. It's just not sitting there doing nothing. Aw, thanks, Mika. It's been a while. I'm a little out of practice, so I figured Wednesdays is a good day to get back into doing whatever we need to just to relax. So whatever. We're having a whatever Wednesday. So if you want next Wednesday when I do come on, if you are prepared and ready, you are more than welcome to join me and come on and just have an art fun filled day. And I know I have white on here, and I'm going to come back because now I just wet that. And because it's wet, I'm hoping it'll do what I want it to do. And giving it that little bit of flow. Just going to wet the tip of the brush or the tip of my. Don't mind my phone. I should have turned the volume down, but I didn't. Now I'm going to rub this over the top of, and not pressing hard because I want the texture of the paper. Because of that texture in the paper, it gives it that look of splash. It gives it the look of splash. It's not bad, but it is fun to do. It's just throwing stuff down and just enjoying the process of. I'm going to turn this down, my goodness. Sorry about that. Notifications, all of that stuff, all down. Just want to move this around just a little bit. I need to add some more of my little black over here because it's going to that tree, and seems like there's a line right there, but this rock, little bits of shadows in between the rocks. Now you can do this with your watercolor, but I just happen to think I like line and wash. Does anybody else like urban sketching line and wash? But I just wanted to try his style of doing a rough landscape or abstract landscape. And all I did was to get this point, and my water's dirty now, so like just wet. Pick your colors that you think you're gonna like. And the reason I already had this background done was so I could go in and do the details with you. This way I have this will have to sit and dry just a smidge. So I'm trying to think of what I want to do. We'll do a French ultramarine, I think, in the sky, and just this is all I did, except I should have had the green a little lower, and I guess I could have made them into mountains, but just adding my colors in as you would for a landscape. If you know you're going to do a landscape, then just add it in. I'm going to add a little bit of burnt sienna into the bottom and a little bit of the Windsor blue into the top. And most of the time you want to have your paper taped down or whatever, but I didn't want to have to do that today, so I just figured, ah, Let's just play. Let's just play. And this is how it all came about. That could also be a lake. So if you wanted to do mountains, you could always add that after, or you can add it in a little bits here and there now and just with a little bit heavy of a paint and just to make that little bit of a landscape look. Some sap green. Yes, that's where I would like to take them eventually, and we'll have to work on that, Mika. Maybe we'll have to get together and play around and see what we can come up with, and maybe do a live together, and we could work on some mystical, magical landscapes. So these can be trees up in there, onto the mountaintops, or coming down into a cliff. Just something to get the artistic flow happening back and forth and working because it's been so dormant for so long. It's just like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, but I haven't had a chance because, life. Some playing, some experimenting. Yes, yes, that is important. Add a little bit more of this blue in there. But this is how I come about just putting it wherever, and that's what makes it fun. And I think I'm gonna leave this down here like this because I want it to be a uh, a lake down here. And this is already starting to dry. And this is one of the challenges I have is the way the watercolor worked when I lived on the East Coast. And now I live on the West Coast. It's crazy how fast I have to think about what I want to do or keep wetting because everything is drying on me. Now, if you wanted to do a waterfall, I'm using a tissue to wipe my brush off with. You can go back in and lift. It's got a hair there, and I'm not sure if it's a husky fluff or a brush fluff. Yeah, so like just sit and just throw all the paints down on your, and that ring light is very bright, on your watercolor paper or in whatever book you're having, and just have a go and have some fun. I have a book, a color book also that has fantasy houses and stuff in it. So I've been thinking I would like to try and incorporate like little hidden houses in my watercolors. So if you're interested, that might be what we do another time. So now the problem is I have to wait, not long, mind you, not long, but I have to wait until this pretty much dries. And I'm going to take that deep water rim down there and kind of blend it out because it is coming down. It's going to go flowy. So I'm just trying to smooth my edges with the tissue because it does lift very easily. And that way I get a vignette look of my landscape. Now, with watercolors, if you're not used to watercolors, watercolors do dry lighter. So you'll have to go back in and add things here or there to bring it out again. And I have a variety of different styles of watercolors from M. Graham, Daniel Smith, Winsor Newton. I have Schmincke. I do have some Paul Rubin, not many anymore because I had gifted them to somebody. And I really enjoy the different styles because each watercolor reacts so differently in how they move or lift. And I really love the granulating ones. Those are my favorites. So I'm here talking. I'm waiting on this to kind of dry a little. Okay, Chris, good luck at work. Have fun. But because this is Whatever Wednesday, while this is drying, I thought I would show you some of my other things that I've done in my watercolor. And I'm thinking this is one of the books. Yeah, this one I started not long ago. This is some of the urban sketching. This is in 2023. And I was just playing. Just playing. You could tell. All kinds of stuff going on. I was just sitting on the couch and doing random. This needs to be painted, maybe. And then I was doodling, doing things in squares and waters and scenes. I love my little frog. You know, I have my gouache, and I so want to get better with gouache, but I'm not. You know, it's a work in process. It's a work in process. And that was Tuzo. I was trying to draw the puppy. It's a little abstract, but you know, I was painting along with Eric Rhodes on Art School Live, and that's the still life that they did. Just randomness. I love doing birds for some reason. Yes, work in progress. I think all of our art is a work in progress because it just seems to uh you when you go from multiple different things and you're not doing it every day, I think that has a lot to do with it. I was practicing caricature and I'm not that good at it yet, but you know, I got the noses and the eyes. And this is what I do when I'm trying to get creative. That was one of the animals and blocks that I had on my shelf. More random drawing with just pencil, playing. It's like all kinds of fun things that you can do, and it's not realism by any means. Just working it out. And that's what you have to do is just work it out. Sketch talk, trying to learn. Chris had his hat there, and then I thought, oh, yeah, I'll just draw that. So, whatever you see on your desk, take the time and just sit there and draw it out. And then flowers. And I just have that one page left. So I actually did fill that book. So this is kind of a little show and tell while we're in the progress of waiting. And the other thing you can do with your pictures of your watercolor is turn it into book covers. And then when I'm cleaning brushes or randomness, I just paint stuff for backgrounds, and we go from there. Now this was my Inktober, and I did a lot of stuff. I'll do that on another day, and I think I actually do have a video of my Inktober there. And once upon a time, this was a different channel name on another YouTube channel altogether. But I love Tim Burton's style, and this is some of my watercolor drawings that I did with the Tim Burton, and I really enjoyed doing these. And if I think I did post the sketch part of it on my um Facebook group where you could go in and color your own. If I'm not mistaken, I did that. So yeah, I really loved this. This was a lot of fun to do. And then I did some ATCs. And now this book is one of those books that go back and forth. So this is the other side of that book. Oh, thanks, Sherry. And we're doing the monsters with Janet Young. And we were having a lot of fun with that. I love that dude. I seen this on either Facebook coming through or Pinterest somewhere, and I thought, oh, who's got attitude? I really liked him. He just spoke to me, so I thought, yep, let's just play. Let's just play. Let's draw him and have a good time with him. Oh, thanks, Pam. But it's been so long since I've done these things, so I love to get back into doing my watercolors. And this I saw on Facebook go by in one of the memes, but I liked the flower portion, so I did the flower portion, and then that was another one. But yes, I really love my Tim Burton, and this is Jack Sparrow, The Corpse Bride. Oops. Sally, Alice in Wonderland, and this was Willy Wonka, and this is Morticia. I think that was it. Oh, this is oh, the mermaid under the sea, Edward Scissorhands, and then the famous scene. But it's a lot of fun to do these things, and I made this book, and these aren't stuck in there. These actually do come out. So it's an idea of Ariel. Yes. I couldn't think of her name. So if you have a you're doing your pictures like this and you wanted to save them, you could always make them so they can fit inside one of your books, just like the old-fashioned photo books. So yeah. So it's just some of the things that I've done that I wanted to do, and that will be more coming up on the whatever Wednesdays, because it's whatever I feel like. Yes, exactly. It's still a book, but you can take them out when you need to. And this slides in the front cover, which I need to adapt and change because now we have my quiet corner. Um, the other thing that'll be coming up on whatever Wednesdays will be some leather work that I want to do and some bookbinding. So if you see that kind of stuff coming up and you're interested, that's great. If not, I understand. But my whatever Wednesday is going to be whatever I feel like working on. And if you want to be my guest, you're more than welcome to come on and do whatever you're working on. It's just to have fun, enjoy the day, and get arting, right? Get arting, get creative, get creative. So this one is just showing you in that little bit of time. This is now dry. Hi, Kathy. So we have greens, we have purples, we have browns. We can create some more trees or waterfalls because we have a nice little waterfall. And I want to make this a lake down in here. So we can either now, and I think I want to take some more water, and I'm only going to be on for just a little bit longer once we finish this, because I know Anne's not streaming today, so I'm gonna finish this, and then I think Becky might either be coming on, or I don't know who else is on a Wednesday. But I want to add some other tones in here because I want to add more like rocks or leaves, and it just seems awfully bright. So, and I like this green over here because it's darker. But I want it to also have um, shapes. I want it to be able to, I want to be able to see the different things. So now I can play. Yeah, you can change your brush back to a smaller one, unless you have one that has a very pointy tip on, then you can continue on. Your grandmother had a small photo album book in her purse. It had those corners to hold the pictures. She called it her movable book because she could move and change the pictures. Brenda, that's so cool. I remember those different. They didn't have the photo corners, but they were the plastic ones where you slid things in and out. They were pretty cool too. You could pretty much do anything. Now my brush is too wet, so I'm gonna go in here and take that out because it's just too much. Well, if you look at that, now his happy accident reminds me of Bob Ross, happy accidents. You see what happened there? I had too much paint come off, and look at how it gave it the shape of the tree, but it looks like it's in a distance. It pulled it up. So that is a great little tip to go in, wet it, pull it up to get your background trees. Just lift it off. Anyway, I need some more green. I need pigment, really, more than water. So I'm going to, I need to get myself some cloths down here. I want to add a bit of brown to that green because I don't want it that bright. And I can start building my trees. And don't make your trees like all the same size or anything like that. Before the plastic sleeve albums, yes, I can imagine. And I'm trying just to use the tip of this brush because it's so big, and you just want to rub to the sides to get your trees. And have the trunks just a little bit bigger than the top part. They look pretty good. They look pretty good. I know you can still see that that center is wet, which is okay. I'm gonna put another tree here, and I'm going to put some trees down here, but I can't yet because it's still too wet. I think that's looking pretty good. We'll put different color trees in there too. We'll use different greens, and that way it gives it more character. Now I'm gonna move over to the other side while I'm still using this color. And the other thing you can do after, have, if you're going to put a backing on your watercolor, you can stitch these, which I plan on doing in some of my other ones. I'm going to stitch the trees in so they stand out more than the rest of it. But with this being a rough paper, it really does make those little squares stand out when the pigments go down inside because you can see where the light is to where the pigment stayed. And I'm going to do as much as I can here. I'm going to make this one come down just a little bit more and have it blend into the wet, which is fine. This one, and I will come back in with that in there to make a little bit different of a tree. Now I'm going to change out my brush. I just have a glass of water off to the side. And I'm going to go to my medium brush. You can use whatever brushes you like. And I'm going to go over to the sap green because it's a little bit brighter. And I'm going to add some Windsor yellow to it, or a lemon yellow, whatever you have. Brush off my paint just a smidge so it's not an overabundance. And I'm just going to brush really gently. I'm not really making a tree, but I'm making some bushes. I'm making a couple of bushes, just different types of trees. Bushes and trees, just along the edge of this mountain, sticking out the side, behind the other trees. I could have done that first, but it's okay. We're playing. We're having a good time playing. And that's what's important. These also look like little fir trees when you just stand them up and use the edge of your brush. Aw, thank you, Kathy. I'm really happy to see everybody here today. I almost didn't stream, but I thought, let's just get with the program. Let's get with the program. Yeah, because I really didn't put what I was doing today, so I'll put that on after. I'll go back in and update my descriptions and different things. Now I'm got a very fine point and I'm just creating little branches. Nothing nothing fancy. Just go in and darken up a little bit of the pine trees, the trunks, and just have a very light touch. A very light touch. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We're not going for perfection. We're just going for fun and uh, just just playing, just playing. I hope you're enjoying it. I haven't done this in like so long. And we're going to take and use this color and just brush it along the edge, down around the bottom, just to give balance of tree. Hi, Barbara. Just blending it in and keeping it low, but not too low, and smoothing the edges. And then go back in and don't forget to give your other trees a base to sit on. Thank you, Barbara. If it doesn't look good, you can always go back in with water. Just dab a little bit out just so it's not overpowering. Hi, Yuan. Thanks. I'm just making the bottom of the mountain edge. Yuan comes on later today. Now, I have this guy who comes down into here, so I'm going to grab some little bits and kind of make it have an edge that it's overlooking and kind of blend out, giving it a top part here, but then the look of or the essence of the cliff area. And then I want to go back in with my green because it's now dry enough and create that tree a little bit better so it stands out a little bit more. Each side has a tree. I might have to do one more tree because they're not showing up as well. Let's do another tree right next to them. And I had no rhyme or reason what I was doing today, so this is what we got. This is what we got. This is our whatever Wednesday. It's whatever happens. Whatever happens. So now this guy, he needs his bottom part. And I'm going to leave it to there, so make it look like you have to come down and walk around, but blend this out so it goes down. Try not to have hard edges is impossible sometimes. So this is where we are so far. It's like two mountains with the running river in the sky. No plan. Really, Kathy? Oh, wow, that's cool. That's cool. So I need to darken up my tree trunks on these guys. So what brown do I want to use? Burnt umber with a touch, with just a touch of green. Oh, that's still too wet. Still too wet. So we'll come over here and work. Try and touch up into these guys too so they have a little bit of body to them. So nice to see everybody today. So we're getting there with our trees and our little scenes on each side. This is how totally different everything can look. Like seriously, totally different. Depending on what products you use at the time or the colors you use. I think I want to get a little bit of Payne's gray and go in along the edge. Now I could have used ink, but I think I'm going to stick to the Payne's gray. And blend it out. I love doing sceneries. I'm going to be doing some more sceneries actually, which is why I'm doing this because the style, I love the style. And what I think I'm going to do is my photographs that I've taken every time we went to the Rocky Mountains. I'm going to take those photographs and turn it into the abstract style of what I've seen. So that is my goal. That is what I really would like to do. And to be able to share it and have you see, and then eventually on my Etsy store, I'm going to try and hopefully post some things there. If not, I'll be posting in my Facebook page or on my Instagram. Ah, thank you, Becky. 10, it's 11, 12, 1. Becky coming on today? I know Anne isn't on. I love having a Payne's gray because it's not black, it's not, it's not invasive. Trying to smooth it out, but also give the effect of landscape. Go back over. I am almost to a stopping point, I think. I could add more more trees, but I do want to add more my branches for these little guys because I did it on the other side. It's easier with the ink going back in if you want to do the ink and watercolor. It's easier to do your branches with a pen, but you give it a go and you do your best with your watercolor. It's a rock sticking out there. Just adding a little touch up and through the trees so they kind of look like they have dimension to them instead of flat, because you do want to use a couple of different colors if at all possible. I do have orange in there. I might add a couple of orange trees. So let's see, what have we got for an orange? Orangish. Let's just take some more of the Windsor yellow and add it to this right here, because that will turn it orangish. And then I can add a little tree in here. That's just a different color to offset the other trees. And down here, I'm just going to give it a little bush look. Excuse me. And the same with over here. I'm just going to add a small little tree just to bring the color over and have your eye have a place to go. And here, I'm going to add a little orange and maybe in here. Just little dabs is all I'm doing. Just little dabs. Just enough to say, hey, look at me. And now I'm going to go back to the Payne's Gray because I want to make my branch come out and add a little bit into that tree and a little bit into that tree. And you know what? I'm going to say, I'm going to call it done, because if I play anymore, I mean, you can just keep going and going and going and going and going. But I am going to say that's all I'm going to add to these. And I am going to just initial and today's date. And call that done. And I will initial this one. Add today's date. And say that is my play of the day. So thank you everybody for coming to Whatever Wednesday. And I am going to say thank you from my corner to yours. Have a wonderful day. And thank you everybody for stopping by. Bye-bye all.